Hello, welcome to my channel called Actively Planning, and for this one we're actually going to use my brand new planner, which I am absolutely obsessed with, for 2024. But for today I'm actually going to show you 3 things that I love to add into the back pages of this planner. So I'm actually going to just go all the way to the back here into the first white page, not the dotted or gridded one, just because I want to be able to see everything, and there's a reason behind it. So the first thing that I'm actually going to be doing in these back pages, well, first of all, let me just go ahead and grab all of my stuff. But the first thing I love to do is what is called a line a day. So I like to split up 2 of these pages, so obviously the left and the right side, into a grid so that I have all 12 months plus all 365 days written down on here. And the reason behind that is because if you've watched my other videos, you know that every single week I have on the left side of this planner is already included, but I like to, add a little flair to it. But I like to write down at least one thing a day that I'm grateful for, something that I want to remember, something that was, inspiring, any form, something like that. And the reason behind it is that at the end of each week, I go ahead and write down all of those lines in this section. So then I'm able to see at the end of the year, which I just saw my other one for 2023, I'm able to see all those 365 days worth of things that I was grateful for, that I was able to reflect back on and remember all the memories, all the things that it would bring up. And it's just one of those things where it's super helpful to continue to be inspired, but then also when you're seeking gratitude or things that you want to remember, it makes you more aware of your surroundings and what's happening in your day-to-day. Instead of, constantly seeking the negative, we're constantly seeking the positive, things that we want to remember. And it's just one of those mindset things that definitely is a huge help to be able to stay positive, to be able to stay influenced, to be able to stay, on that right path of happiness. So let's put it that way. So I love being able to add this into the back pages because, again, even though I'm writing it weekly in each one of the week's spreads, I'm able to then reflect back on a bigger note and see, okay, there were 365 days that I was able to notice something, or be grateful for something, or be inspired by something, whatever it is that I was able to write down. And it's just a great way to be able to see everything, be inspired by things, and obviously keep that positive mindset 365 days. Obviously there's going to be days where it's hard. There's always going to be days that, you really tried your best to be able to seek something, but in reality, once you get used to it, it's going to get so much more easier, to the point that sometimes you have a hard time even choosing just one. You want to be able to choose more than one. And it's one of those ways that, other than journaling, it's another way of you being able to reflect on your days and be able to appreciate the things that are happening. Even though, again, there's going to be hard days, there's going to be days where you don't feel like it, or you didn't feel like yourself, or things just didn't go your way, there's always still going to be something that you can be inspired by, or motivated by, or want to be able to write down to remember later on. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and we're already speeding it up because it does take a little bit of a time to be able to split everything and write down everything, but I'm gonna go ahead, I'm writing down the titles, and then obviously every single month has different numbers, so I'm definitely going to write that down and then obviously grid it out a little bit more. So let me go ahead and get that done. for the second part of these back pages, or the second thing that I love to add, is a movement tracker. So the reason I love being able to do this is that at the end of the year, I'm able to see, okay, what kind of movements did I do, what was something that I definitely loved to do, what were things that I shifted on, all of those different things. Plus, it's awesome to see, you know, how much you do in a year. So this one for me is a little bit more complicated, just because it takes a lot of math work to be able to get, you know, all of these little squares. You'll see in a second once I get through it, but it's one of those things where it takes a while, but it's so worth it at the end, because you have this whole grid of movement. And the reason, again, why I love being able to track movement, something like this, is not just to show off and say, okay, I was able to move, you know, my body and do these workouts and all of this stuff, and other people can't, or whatever it is. It's honestly more of a motivating factor for me to be able to say, okay, I was able to stay consistent for 5 days this week, or I was able to stay consistent like 90% of this month. Like, that for me is inspiring for me to keep going. Obviously, the benefits of moving your body is everyone should take advantage of it. Let's put it that way. It not only, you know, helps your physical ability, but then also helps your mindset. It helps your emotions. It helps literally every single aspect of your life. Just 30 minutes or even just 15 minutes, honestly, does a huge difference for everything. And it's one of those things where I'm always going to be a huge advocate of movement. Doesn't matter what kind of movement, something that you enjoy, something that you can actually stay consistent with. But it's one of those things where I always recommend taking time to be able to move your body, because again, it's not just for the physical benefits, it's also for your mindset, your wellness, your emotions, your absolute everything is influenced by how you move your body and how it makes you feel. And I will always be a huge advocate for that. So, I mean, granted, half my job in life is a health and life coach, so obviously I'm going to be a huge advocate for it and always be, you know, encouraging everyone to at least try something, even if it's just walking outside. It's huge benefits. Anyways, I'm doing all this math over here. I'm going to try to make all this grid. I'm going to show you what it looks like at the end once I get all the squares in, because I'm adding every single month and every single day just by a grid form. So let me just go ahead and get that done. So for the third and final section, for now, let's be real, at the end of the year, I end up adding a bunch more things. But for now, the third one I love to do is tracking my books read, or what I'm currently reading, give them a rating. And one of the awesome parts about being part of Passion Planner is that they have the free downloads on their website, and I actually I decorate this left side of the page with little plants, and it looks like a bookshelf, all that. But my right side, I actually print or download and print one of their book trackers because it already has the grid. I'm just able to paste it. Obviously, for all of these back pages, I can always do all of that, but sometimes just being creative and doing things like this is just, it's worth it. It's fun. It's the creative process, right? So one of the good things, or one of the things that I love about, being able to track books is I not only track it in Goodreads, because obviously on there's a little bit more specific things, and I'm able to like really remember when I'm out and about, like everything that I've read. But it's one of the greatest things because at the end of the year, again, all of this is at the end of the year, being able to reflect and all that stuff. But at the end of the year, I'm able to see, okay, look at all the books that I was able to read, look at all the things that I was able to do. It's one of those good things about, reflecting and being able to say, okay, how many of these books were thrillers? How many of these were for personal development? How many of these were recommended? How many different authors was I able to read? All of those different things. There's great ways and great benefits about being able to track things like that, right? So what I'm actually going to do is I'm drawing a little column here because I like to write down my goal for the year. Still haven't figured out how many yet, but I will. Once I do, obviously I'll write it down. But I'm actually going to go ahead and draw out some of these little shelf things and then add in the books, and then add in on the right side those printed pages. Obviously I have to cut them up and stuff like that, but I'll definitely be adding that, and most likely be adding 2 of them, because last year when I did this and I had the printout and I pasted it in the back pages, I actually needed 2 full pages because I ended up reading more than I thought I was going to. And I needed a place to write it all down. So I'm definitely going to be adding 2 pages this year. But let me just go ahead, add in my little books here. I'm just gonna freehand it because, let's be real, sometimes it just works out that way. So I'm just gonna go ahead, add my books, add my pages, and have this layout set. three sections are done, and what's awesome is that with the monthly tabs that you get from Passion Planner, there's technically 4 extra. So I'm going to be using 3 of them right now. Obviously I have 1 extra. Kind of like I mentioned before, I always end up adding more things in the back. It's just right now these are the important ones that I want to be able to have starting off. So I'm just gonna go ahead, add in for my line a day, another one for my movement, and then another one for my books read. So it's just another way of tabbing everything. But hopefully this was something that you might add into your planner. Hopefully this is something that is inspiring for you, even if it's just adding it into your weekly spread or even adding it into the back. Plus, Passion Planner always has awesome printouts that are easy accessible. You just download and literally print them out, and with several different themes, topics, all of those good things. That's why I'm a huge advocate of Passion Planner. But anyways, there's obviously going to be way more added into this planner, but for now this is how I'm going to end it, and this is how I'm going to start my 2024 planner. So hopefully you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you here for another video very soon. Okay, bye.